Well, well, well. Look who's finally getting home. What kept you out until this hour? What? Surprised to find a beautiful woman lounging at your desk this late at night? Or, I suppose, rather, this early in the morning? What do you mean, how did I get in here? That door certainly adds to the whole detective noir aesthetic thing you've got going on. But it really doesn't add anything in the way of actual security. We'll have to look into fixing that, by the way. I got in with just a little bit of dumb luck and a bobby pin. And I didn't even think it was possible to use one of those to lockpick a door. Ooh, very scary there, Noir. I am sure you're more than capable of taking care of yourself. You have that whole fuck around and find out kind of look going for you. The sunglasses at night really add to the whole outfit, too. And I have to admit, it's a good look on you. I'm surprised at you, Detective. Is that any way to talk to your newest client? Oh, come on now. You obviously think you're the main character in one of those black and white detective movies with the way you've decorated this place. You can just think of me as the leggy dame who came rolling in here like a summer storm. Feel free to add that to your inner monologue. You and I both know you've got one going. I could see it in the way you're scrunching your brows together. It's almost like you're trying to figure me out. Figure out the right descriptors to describe me. Boo. You're no fun. Fine. I'll introduce myself. I'm Aries. Aries Dumont. There it is. I love it when people make that face after they hear my name. Dad wanted me to have a good, strong name to carry on the family legacy. Yeah, you're right. My dad is Casimir Dumont. And that means I'm the rightful heir to the Dumont family. One of the wealthiest and most notorious families in the city. What? Were you expecting something else? I've been told I have that effect on people. Oh, what do I want with you? Well, that's a little bit of a loaded question. But I'm oh so glad you asked. See, I saw you the other night. At the docks. You know the one. That fighting ring that takes place near the lake, in that old warehouse. You were good. A little too good, in fact. I was surprised I hadn't ever seen you there before. I like to frequent the fights, you see. You can call it a guilty pleasure of mine. Anyways, it got me curious as to who you were. I mean, you showed up out of nowhere, wearing those stupid sunglasses. And you beat just about everyone you were put up against. Even some of my favorites didn't stack up when compared to you. You made me lose a lot of money, Noir. Made me think something fishy was going on with you. So, I asked around. You're a deceptively hard person to find information on, you know. Even my most reliable sources were only coming up with a name and an occupation. I am sure you can imagine my surprise when I discovered you were a private investigator. I mean, a PI who spends their free time fighting for the enjoyment of Ashwood Grove's corrupt elite. You were just too interesting to let get away at that point. Oh, come on. Patience is a virtue. I'm getting to it. Well, I've found myself in a little bit of a predicament. I'm what the magically inclined like to call a fluke. In other words, I don't have any thumb of my own, despite my family being comprised of some of the strongest mages in the city. I've got no magic, no affinity, nothing. Yeah, so Dad didn't really like that. He and Mom only got together because their families were attempting to win the genetic lottery with their kids. Mom's a lightning affinity, and Dad's one of the strongest air mages in the city. They were hoping, together, they could make a powerhouse of a kid. They even paid a fortune in genetic testing to try to cheat the system. And, tragically, instead of the powerhouse they were hoping for, they ended up with me. I'm sure you can see where I'm going with all of this. Exactly. Look at you. Being a good detective. You can say Dad and I don't quite see eye to eye on a lot. I moved out of the family home a few months ago. And I found this on my car the other night. Take a look. Yep, exactly. I may not be magically gifted, but I know a damn tracking device when I see one. That was my first thought, too. So, naturally, I confronted Dad. Asked him straight up if he had hired someone to watch me while I was away from home. He swears he didn't. Freaked out, even. Tried to make me move home so that I'd be surrounded by that 24/7 security detail again. Obviously, I didn't trust him. Dad's built an empire off of lying. But when I spoke to Mom, she backed up his story. And Mom would never lie to me. So, I think someone is trying to use me to get to Dad. His job has made him plenty of enemies. And that's where you come in. I want to hire you to find whomever's been stalking me, and to put an end to them. Why you, huh? That's the $1,000,000 question this evening, I think. So, I told you I started looking into your background a bit more when I saw you at the fights. And, well, I was able to find a whole lot more once I figured out where you lived. And, I guess by extension where you worked, I suppose. Honestly, I would have thought the whole PI thing would have paid better. Given you enough to have a separate office space or something, but, whatever. Who am I to judge? Right. Anyways, once I found where you were, I did a little bit of my own investigation. Here. Take a look at these. I like to think I'm a pretty good detective myself. Or, at the very least, a very patient woman with far too much time on her hands, who has a very, very nice camera. That's you, isn't it? Oh, come on. No need to be shy. It's clear as day. That is you. In the dark. Without those sunglasses on. Oh, are you feeling a little tense? There's a cute little vein popping out of the side of your neck. Was this not something you wanted me to know? I mean, I can understand. Without those glasses on, under the cover of night, it's pretty apparent why you were doing so well at those fights as a rookie. I mean, the telltale sign of a wolf is how their eyes glow in the darkness, after all. You're a rarity around here. Everyone knows the rest of the wolves live deep in the forest, even if no one likes to talk about it. And you're very dangerous, Noir. It makes me curious as to why you're in this city. But those are questions to be answered at a later date. For now, I'd like to exploit those monstrous abilities of yours to protect me. Of course, I'm not afraid of you. You would think that would be obvious after I broke into your apartment and sat here at your desk in the darkness. I may not be fey-touched like you, but I'm dangerous in my own right. So, I think that just leaves us with one question. Wolfy, what do you say? Will you take the job?